Chapter 61 Yu Xiaogang bows his head. Bug Soul Bone Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhao Wuji landed a heavy slap. Crunch. This time, the 8 spider spears shattered like glass, several of Tang Lan's ribs snapped, one piercing through his chest. Zhao Wuji was startled. Did the sect master really drop his Vajra indestructible body and immortal seal defenses, that he was about to call for Oscar? But before Tang Lan's blood could even splatter, the broken ribs retracted, and the wound healed instantly. The 8 spider spears sprouted back from his back at an unbelievable rate. Zhao Wuji was speechless. Is that even human? Can you just heal from a life-threatening injury in a few breaths? Tang Lan stretched, and the 8 spider spears clinked together. Hardness is up a bit, but not by much. Gonna be busy tonight. The 4th ringed soul sect doesn't use martial souls, so it's still tough going head-to-head with a 7th ringed soul sage. Zhao Wuji. Am I hearing things? What kind of crazy talk is this? A title Douluo fighting me barehanded, I can accept that. But a 4-ringed soul sect wanting to take on a 7-ringed soul sage barehanded. I even used soul skills. Suddenly, Zhao Wuji caught on. Wait a minute. Sect Master, what's your level now? Not much, level 47. Silence, deafening silence. Tang Lan was only 13 years, 1 month, and 3 days old, level 47. Shattering all Soul Master history, the first ever. That night, Tang Lan and Zhao Wuji were in the living room, exercising during the day. Zhu Zhuqing woke up first as usual. She found the living room littered with fragments, all from the 8 spider spears, and Zhao Wuji was clapping his hands, repeatedly striking Tang Lan's back. The 8 spider spears were cracked, but not broken. But what really made Zhu Zhuqing's eyes pop, Tang Lan was shirtless, his steel-like muscles glistening gold, complementing his perfect features. Even with her cool demeanor, she was stunned for a moment. Tang Lan spotted Zhu Zhuqing and looked at her. Zhu Zhuqing jumped, as if she'd been electrocuted. Swoosh! She bolted back to her room. Alright, old Zhao, let's call it for today. Tang Lan said, stopping him. He put his clothes back on. He wasn't into anything weird. He just took them off for convenience. The 8 spider spears didn't require him to be naked, but he'd unexpectedly discovered that if the indestructible Vajra body was broken and then healed, his physical strength improved slightly. This allowed Zhao Wuji to work hard and grind his proficiency together. Just that night, the lifespan of his natal soul ring increased by 10 years. And all of this was based on the right leg bone of the blue-silver Emperor of Life, a soul bone with a bug-like regeneration ability. Tang Lan also had various ways to replenish his soul power. That was the miracle of that night. Otherwise, an average person would need months to recover from that kind of damage. How could you even play around like that? It's definitely a reward for plundering a lot of luck, a total bug. I'm starting to look forward to the grass jelly reward. Will that launch me straight to the big leagues? When they were finished, everyone was almost ready. They all stared at the messy hall, wondering what had happened the night before. Tang Lan had specifically reinforced the rooms, and the soundproofing was excellent. Are those the sect leader's 8 spider spears? Oscar asked, curious. Why are there so many broken pieces all over the floor? That he touched a fragment with his weak hand, and the sharp edge pierced his fingertip without resistance. His hand instantly turned purple, and black blood gushed out, poisoned. I have an antidote. Before Oscar could finish the spell, his tongue froze, and without the spell, he couldn't use his soul skills, unable to make detoxifying sausages. Black tendrils started creeping from his neck toward his head. Tang Lan darted forward, thrust the 8 spider spear out of his clothes, stabbed Oscar's hand, and sucked back the poison. At the same time, he infused vitality, gradually restoring color to Oscar's pale face. Oscar panted, fear etched on his face. That was close. Don't touch the fragments on the ground. They contain highly toxic substances from the 8 spider spears, Tang Lan warned. He didn't really need to say it. After seeing Oscar's near-death experience, everyone backed away, keeping their distance. Only Tang San's eyes lit up. The fragments of the 8 spider spears were sharp and highly poisonous. They were perfect hidden weapons. Or ground into a potent poison. Damn it. The perfect external soul bone for him, why couldn't it be his? Brother, can I have these fragments of the 8 spider spears? Tang San asked confidently. He stepped forward, ready to gather the pieces. Surely his brother wouldn't refuse him, but Tang Lan smiled. This was what he'd been waiting for. Sorry, my dear brother, I need to recycle those toxins. The 8 spider spear plunged into the ground, devouring all the toxins from the fragments. Lifespan increased by 2 years. Besides that, the host prevented Tang San from obtaining the 8 spider spear fragments and absorbed the strengthened external soul bone. A tiny amount of Tang San's luck has been seized. Reward, Tang Sect Hidden Weapon Technique, Rain of Flowers. Bingo! He could artificially create opportunities to get Tang San's rewards. As for the Rain of Flowers, Tang San used it against Zhao Wuji in the original story. It allowed a hidden weapon to fly straight, diagonally, or around to attack the enemy from all angles, dazzling the enemy, leaving them defenseless. From now on, Tang Lan's 8 spider spear could be used as a hidden weapon and thrown, even if broken. Not a bad reward. Tang Lan was more interested in the implications. Tang San's abilities could be used as rewards. Tang Lan had been coveting the purple demon eye for a while, but the requirements for cultivation were too strict. He had to get up early every day to absorb a wisp of purple energy from the east to achieve anything. Tang Lan couldn't bear to get up before dawn, plus, Tang San was watching closely, so he didn't bother. It would be better to obtain it directly. Everyone's wearing weights, right? Tang Lan said. Old Zhao, activate your soul skills. Let's run to Qiando City. Everyone's eyelids twitched. Run to Qiando City. This was the Star Do Forest. It was a long way from Qiando City, and even a flying soul beast would take over 2 weeks, and they had to carry weights and run it on foot with gravity manipulation. That was going to be a test of endurance. Great idea, Yu Xiaogang chimed in. Long-distance physical training is the best way to bond a team. Xiao Yan, you're determined. Everyone frowned. Are you gloating? Zhao Wuji snapped. Yu Xiaogang, you joined the Tang sect yesterday. You should call him sect master. Yu Xiaogang. His already stiff expression soured, but he didn't argue. The hierarchy of seniority was strict on Douluo continent, otherwise, Ning Rongrong wouldn't be able to chat to Uncle Tang. It was a big issue for her pursuit of Tang Lan. Now that Yu Xiaogang had joined the Tang sect, even if he was just a teacher at a Tang sect-affiliated school, he had to respect Tang Lan as the sect master. Calling him by his first name was a breach of etiquette, let alone using a nickname. It was disrespectful. After all, he wasn't Tang Lan's elder, but Yu Xiaogang had too much pride to call his former student his sect master. He looked at Tang San, hoping his disciple would say something. Too bad, he asked the wrong person. Tang San's sect consciousness was the strongest here. He just pretended he didn't hear. Yu Xiaogang's face twitched. Fine, of course, this disciple is closest to his brother. Yesterday, they teamed up to humiliate him. Is it happening again today? Yu Xiaogang accepted reality. He learned the 9-yang magic kung fu last night. Its refinement was incredible. Compared to the 9-yang divine art, Lanba clan's top-level soul power technique was like comparing starlight to the sun, not worth mentioning at all. This gave Yu Xiaogang hope, the hope of breaking through to level 30. Maybe even higher. It would be extremely difficult for him to quit the Tang sect now, so, Yu Xiaogang bowed his proud head and said softly. Sect Master. The host has created a rift between Yu Xiaogang and Tang San, and Yu Xiaogang has acknowledged the host as the sect master. A small amount of Tang San's luck has been stolen. Reward. Chapter 62 Waste Yu Xiaogang. His true nature is exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The system cleared a space between Yu Xiaogang and Tang San, and recognized the host as the sect leader. Siphoning off a sliver of Tang San's good fortune. Reward, Tang Sect Hidden Weapon Technique, Scattering Goddess of Flowers. This technique is the foundation for many hidden weapons. For example, Tang Sect's number 4 hidden weapon, 1001 Nights, uses the Scattering Goddess of Flowers as its base. Like a rain of flowers, it relies on sheer volume. However, a sky full of flower rain is thrown continuously, so it's important to keep it flowing. The scattering goddess of flowers is thrown out instantly, aiming for an explosive burst. Each has its own advantages. Tang Lan paused for a few seconds, absorbing the information, with a wave of his hand. Alright, we're starting with a 25-mile run, then breakfast in the next town. Let's go. Zhao Wuji silently activated his soul skill and took the lead. The rest of the group followed right behind. Tang San glanced at Yu Xiaogang, concerned. Teacher, are you? Don't worry about me, Yu Xiaogang said sternly. The team moves together. Just go. Yes, sir. Tang San took off. Yu Xiaogang brought up the rear, hurrying to keep pace. He kept his distance, staying outside the range of Zhao Wuji's soul skills. He knew his limits. Even without the added weight, he kept falling behind. Tang Lan was understanding. He'd have the team loop back for him. Finding him on the ground, panting like an old dog, Yu Xiaogang, trying to save face, would force himself to get up again. This happened dozens of times. The sun was high when they finally limped into town. Dai Mubai and the others were clearly not happy. If it weren't for this dead weight, they wouldn't have traveled twice as far. But Yu Xiaogang was too exhausted to care. He'd tossed aside his robe, and his clothes were soaked with sweat, clinging to his flabby middle-aged physique. He looked pathetic. Dai Mubai and company were even more disgusted. Is that all there is? There's no such thing as a useless martial spirit, only a useless soul master. Yu Xiaojiang's martial spirit might be weak, but he hadn't even tried. And it's a beast spirit, no less. Even Oscar, the support soul master, is in better shape. Yu Xiaojiang's title of master was completely discredited in everyone's eyes. Even Tang San was having doubts. His brother was way better than Yu Xiaojiang, and now he looks so weak. Why didn't he listen to my brother and had to worship you as his teacher? Now look what happened. Instead of helping you, I'm now a burden. It's sickening. The team took a quick break in town, restocked, and pushed on. This time, without a town as a goal, they ran for 2.5 hours. Yu Xiaojiang was the first to collapse, sprawled on the ground like a mudslide, gasping like an old dog, completely drained. Dai Mubai and the others couldn't hide their discontent. Their eyes burned with disdain. Why can't you follow through? Sect leader, how about we go on ahead and he can catch up later? Zhao Wuji finally suggested. Yeah, Uncle Tang, Ning Rongrong agreed. You have a lot to do once we get to Qindo City. We can't waste time here. The others didn't say anything, but they clearly agreed. But Tang Lan looked serious. Have you forgotten what I said? The second rule of the Tang sect, never abandon. Never give up. Zhao Wuji and the others shut their mouths. We've got a problem child in the group, and we have to babysit him. You guys are disappointing me. Tang Lan scolded. If you think like that, when I ran into the Titan ape, I should have just left you all behind, right? The perspective changes, and suddenly everyone had a change of heart. Dai Mubai suggested, hey, Xiao San, why don't you take off the weights and give him a piggyback ride? Tang San didn't hesitate. He shook his head. The teacher's in such poor condition. His body can't handle a lot of pressure right now. Silence. They couldn't just drop the team's training to coddle Yu Xiaojiang, could they? Seeing their faces, Tang San sighed. Brother, I'll carry the teacher on my back and stick with the group. Tang Lan pretended to be at a loss. I guess that's the only way. Little San, don't take off your weights. Just try to keep up with the team's pace. Tang San nodded. The team started up again, without the need to keep going back for stragglers. They were traveling 5 times faster. Dai Mubai sighed in relief. Now I can train in peace. The others nodded, understanding. It felt great to finally drop the dead weight. But inevitably, without a buffer, the high-intensity training took its toll. After an hour, Ning Rongrong and Oscar were the first to hit their limits. Their limbs were like lead, and every step was torture. Dai Mubai pulled a rope from his storage ring and tied it around his and Oscar's waists. He hauled them along. Gotta follow the sect rules. Never give up. Ning Rongrong looked at Tang Lan hopefully. Tang Lan flicked out a Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor and wrapped it around Ning Rongrong's waist. They ran like that for another hour. Zhu Zhuqing was reaching her breaking point, her chest burning. but she stubbornly gritted her teeth and kept going. Tang Lan had been watching her closely and noticed the situation. He didn't offer help. Instead, he decided against stopping to rest and had them run for another half hour. Zhu Zhuqing, running on sheer willpower, stumbled over a rock. She was about to faceplant. Tang Lan swooped in and caught her. He grabbed Zhu Zhuqing's hand and kept her moving forward. At the same time, he sent out another Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor and entangled Dai Mubai, who had also reached his limit. His eyes were almost rolling back into his head. "Hang in there for another half hour," Tang Lan yelled. "This is about breaking your limits." Another half hour. For those who'd hit their wall long ago, it was a matter of willing the pain away. Everyone had only one thought: make it to half an hour. Only Zhao Wuji noticed. "Sect leader, something's off. Why are you holding Zhu Zhuqing's hand? And look at Ning Rongrong being dragged by the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor." He had a "watching the drama" expression. "This is getting interesting." Half an hour later, Zhao Wuji was about to put away his soul skills, but Tang Lan didn't give the order, and the others, whose brains had stopped working long ago, were still running on autopilot. Zhao Wuji frowned. This level of training was pushing everyone to the very edge. If it continued like this, they could cause lasting damage. He opened his mouth to say something, but then he remembered, Tang Lan's soul power has some kind of crazy healing ability and a perverted self-healing ability. Maybe it'll be fine. He kept quiet. Another half hour passed. Oscar finally couldn't hold on and collapsed. The Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor sprouted from the ground and held him up. The team's balance was broken. Dai Mubai went down, and Ning Rongrong followed. Only Zhu Zhuqing, whose hand was being held by Tang Lan, was still getting the benefits of 9 Yang divine art and hadn't completely overdraft. Tang Lan didn't stop. He pulled Oscar and the others along, moving slowly. The Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor was transmitting the 9 Yang divine skill to heal their damaged bodies. They repeated this over and over. Their bodies were growing stronger. The price. They were all staggering around, staring blankly at the sky, in a complete daze. They didn't care about anything, they just wanted to lie down. Chapter 63 Zhu Zhuqing's Night Attack. Ning Rongrong is guarding the house. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhao Wuji went around, offering water to everyone. Tang Lan helped Zhu Zhuqing sit up, pulled out his water skin, and let her take a long drink. Then he produced a tablecloth from his gear, spread it on the ground, and gently laid her down. Next, he conjured up an entire marinated cow and asked Zhao Wuji to chop down a tree for a makeshift barbecue spit. 10 minutes later, the group started to stir. Exhausted, they were too tired to talk and just lay there, motionless. The aroma of roasting beef finally did the trick, and their stomachs rumbled, pulling them up. Eyes glued to Tang Lan, they watched him expertly turn the whole cow. Just as the beef was almost ready, Tang San, carrying Yu Xiaogang on his back, finally caught up. Tang Lan sliced off a juicy cow leg. Alright, chow time. Like a pack of wolves, Dai Mubai and the others descended on the roast, stripping the cow to the bone in seconds. Zhao Wuji, caught off guard, stared at the skeleton in disbelief. You guys were exhausted a minute ago. How did you move so fast? But he looked over at Tang Lan, who hadn't even taken a bite. Instead, he was offering the roast beef leg to Yu Xiaogang. He'd meant for him and Tang San to share, but before Tang San could react, Yu Xiaogang grabbed it and took a huge bite, oblivious to Tang Lan's intention. Okay, that piece is for you and the mistress, Tang Lan said smoothly, stepping back to the fire to let Zhao Wuji start roasting lamb. He handed out 2 portions of roast mutton, one to Zhu Zhuqing and the other to Ning Rongrong. The difference was, Zhu Zhuqing offered Tang Lan a neatly cut piece of her lamb, keeping it aside especially for him. Ning Rongrong's piece already had bite marks, a spur-of-the-moment offering since Tang Lan didn't have anything to eat. Awkward. One was a deliberate, planned gesture. The other was a spontaneous act of sharing. Tang Lan made a quick decision and took the roast beef from Zhu Zhuqing. Rongrong, you're a nibbler. You should eat it yourself, he said, feigning disgust. Ning Rongrong was furious. Glaring at Tang Lan, she tore off a huge chunk of roast beef, practically attacking it with her teeth. It was like biting Tang Lan himself. Zhu Zhuqing, detached from the drama, quietly nibbled on her portion. Meanwhile, Tang San, having used his Shintian Kung to recover some strength, watched Yu Xiaogang devour the meat, his face twitching. "My brother saved that for me, and you ate it all," that Yu Xiaogang acted like it was his due. As a teacher, what was wrong with enjoying a cow leg? Tang San silently pulled out some dry food and water, filling his stomach. His opinion of Yu Xiaogang dropped another notch. Tang Lan, observing the silent master and apprentice, smirked inwardly. "You really think I dragged them all the way to Qindo City just for training? Nope." He deliberately chose this route to drive a wedge between the master and disciple. Only through real, unfiltered interaction can you truly know someone's character, and the sharper the contrast, the faster things will move along. Tang Lan stood up, grabbed Tang San's dry food, and replaced it with his own roast beef. "Here, you eat this." Tang San was deeply touched. Blood is thicker than water. "My brother's nothing like my teacher." Tang Lan didn't linger, playing the selfless good Samaritan, letting Tang San savor the moment. As soon as he sat back down, Zhu Zhuqing handed him another piece of roast beef, half of what she had left. Tang Lan took it with a smile. Zhu Zhuqing didn't say anything, but her action spoke volumes. Looks like Xiao Wu's departure opened up an opportunity for her. "Here." Ning Rongrong offered another piece of roast beef. This time, she'd cut off the outer edge, leaving the center intact. Tang Lan couldn't refuse, so he reluctantly took it, then immediately passed it to Zhu Zhuqing. "You burn a lot of energy. You should eat more." After all, it came with 2 weights. Ning Rongrong was livid. "Passing the buck, are we?" Hateful, but she just glared at Tang Lan, holding her tongue. She knew her performance earlier wasn't the best, so Tang Lan's reaction was understandable, and having been surrounded by admirers her whole life, Tang Lan's indifference only fueled her interest. Soon, Zhao Wuji's roast mutton was ready, and everyone helped themselves. Tang Lan clapped his hands. "All right, Tang Menin is now open." Everyone went back to their makeshift rooms and crashed. Today was exhausting. The same went for Tang Lan. With Xiao Wu gone, he felt a strange sense of unease. Around midnight, Zhu Zhuqing quietly slipped out of her room and ran smack into Ning Rongrong, who'd been waiting for her. "Zhuqing, what are you doing out so late?" Ning Rongrong asked with a smile, trying to sound casual. Zhu Zhuqing didn't answer. She turned around and went back into her room, her face expressionless, but a crimson blush was creeping up her pale cheeks. Combined with her explosive figure, she exuded a mix of sexiness and coldness. The reason Zhu Zhuqing had ventured out was obvious. She was going to find Tang Lan to practice dual cultivation in Xiao Wu's absence. Yeah, the kind of dual cultivation she understood. Too bad Ning Rongrong was sharp and guessed Zhu Zhuqing's plan. Otherwise, it's hard to say whether Tang Lan's cultivation accelerator would have stayed intact. In the days that followed, Zhu Zhuqing's silent affection became more and more obvious. Whenever she pushed her physical limits, she'd instinctively turn to Tang Lan. She could push herself with complete confidence, knowing that Tang Lan would always be there to catch her. As for Ning Rongrong, her progress was next to zero, but she was still hung up on the blue silver emperor, the life soul. This only spurred her on, and she spent every night camped out in the common area, determined not to let Zhu Zhuqing get there first. Eventually, Zhu Zhuqing gave up the charade and simply slept until morning. The promised alliance had quietly dissolved with Xiao Wu's departure. That's how a month and a half passed. When Qindo City finally came into view, even Zhu Zhuqing, with her icy exterior, couldn't help but sigh in relief. We're finally here. Every day had been a battle against the limits of body and mind. It was really pushing them to the edge, but the results were clear. Everyone had improved by at least one level, and their physical condition had noticeably improved. Most importantly, their teamwork had significantly improved. Except for Tang San, Tang Lan, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Dai Mubai, and Oscar had developed a certain level of unspoken understanding. This would be a huge advantage in future team battles. As they approached the city gates, they spotted Ning Fengji and Chen Xian waiting to greet them, but what stood out even more was the young man standing beside them. His features were handsome and refined, and he carried an air of noble grace. Not arrogant or flashy, his demeanor radiated aristocratic Charm, no need to ask, the only person Ning Fengji would bring along with such a presence was his disciple, the eldest prince and crown prince of the Tiando Empire, Xue Qinghe. But Tang Lan knew that Xue Qinghe had been dead for a long time. This was actually Qian Renxue, disguised using soul bone skills. She'd been lurking in the Tiando Empire for 20 years, intentionally delaying her own training. It was all for the future when the Spirit Hall would rise to conquer the Tiando Empire in one swift move and establish the Spirit Empire. For this, Qian Renxue would do everything in her power to win over Tang Lan, who owned firearms and mobile phones. Which meant free sex with lots of benefits. That's right, Tang Lan, who had been traveling for a month and a half, led the team directly to the city gate without tidying up his dusty clothes. He smiled at Ning Fengji and Chen Xian and said, "Brother, Uncle Jian, why are you still here? Did Rongrong make you come?" "Ha! How could I, as your big brother, not welcome Brother Lan to Tiando City?" Ning Fengji stepped forward with a graceful smile and gave Tang Lan a warm hug. Wearing an expensive robe, he didn't care if it got stained with dust. Taking Tang Lan's hand, he turned to Qian Renxue. "Brother Lan, let me introduce you. This is the Crown Prince of the Tiando Empire, His Highness Xue Qinghe. He's also my disciple, a younger brother to you. Qinghe has heard so much about you. He knew you were arriving today, so he's been waiting at the city gate since early this morning." It was nearly sunset. What a dedicated, long-standing guard. Full of sincerity, Qian Renxue stepped forward at the right moment and extended her hand to Tang Lan. Chapter 64 Tang San explodes his soul bone. Qian Renxue shows her goodwill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qian Renxue smiled and stepped forward to shake Tang Lan's hand, but Tang Lan, having none of that, released Ning Fengji and gave Qian Renxue a bear hug. Qian Renxue froze, thinking, this is the first time I've been this close to someone since I was a kid. Tang Lan's internal assessment. Flat as a board. Feels like the soul bone technique directly changes the body, instead of being a disguise like the blue-silver domain. Your Highness, you're too formal, Tang Lan said, patting Qian Renshue's shoulder enthusiastically. Even though you're my disciple, we're still doing business. No need to call me uncle. We've been traveling all day and we're beat. Is the banquet ready? Let's eat and talk. Tang Lan, still hugging Qian Renxue, started walking toward the city gate. Oh, and, my brother's still catching up. Send someone to grab him. Ning Fengji was stunned. This disciple of mine is always so humble and polite, and has extremely high emotional intelligence, lacking the pretension and superiority of the nobility, that he didn't mind Tang Lan's forwardness. But he is also a prince. Are you so open-minded? One of Qian Renshue's guards glared. Chen Xian's keen eye swept over him but found nothing. He frowned, confused. Qian Renxue recovered quickly, with a friendly smile, and no resistance in his eyes. He said, Sect Master Tang, your Tang sect encyclopedia is all the rage in the mainland. Qinghe's incredibly impressed. Secrets like whale glue aren't even recorded at Tiando College or the Royal Library. Sect Master Tang, you're so talented and generous, you're a true asset to mainland soul masters. If I hadn't already become Uncle Ning's disciple, I'd want to join the Tang sect and study under you myself. Tang Lan laughed and waved it off. It's just advertising to build up the Tang sect. No big deal, no big deal. They exchanged compliments as they entered Tiando City. Ning Fengji followed with Ning Rongrong and the others. He remembered Tang Lan's instructions, though, and had someone stay behind to wait for Tang San. Once the group was gone, Tang San, panting, appeared with a calm Yu Xiaogang on his back. He saw that high-spirited group and then thought about himself. The resentment he'd built up along the way exploded. Yu Xiaogang. Being tricked into becoming your disciple was the biggest mistake of my life. At the same time, Tang Lan got a system notification. The host allowed Tang San to see Yu Xiaogang's true face. Master and disciple were completely separated, making it difficult for them to unite. Steal a small amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, 10,000 years soul bone, tiger eagle left arm bone. Oh, haha. All this time, nothing, and then this happens. How could that messed up master-apprentice relationship create a 10,000-year soul bone? This must be the last of their juice. Why? Do you have a problem with my proposal, Qinghe? Qian Renxue asked, puzzled. Tang Lan snapped back to attention. Oh, I just realized some new ways to improve the 9-yang divine art. Sorry, what did you say, Your Highness? Qian Renxue was a little surprised. You already get it? Why don't I find you a quiet room so you can focus on your work? Qian Renxue offered thoughtfully. Tang Lan shook his head. Changed it up already. Qian Renxue froze. Just like that, she'd seen the first level of 9-yang magic in the Tang sect encyclopedia. Exquisite. And, according to Ning Fengji, there are 3 levels. All this is already a masterpiece. And now you're leveling up while joking? Sect leader Tang, you're truly brilliant. Qian Renxue said sincerely. With you here, the Tang sect has a bright future. Tang Lan smiled non-committally. They arrived at the hotel. Tiando Hotel, the best in the city, was reserved just for them. Just to host Tang Lan and his crew, Qian Renxue led Tang Lan to the top floor. Zhao Wuji and the others started to follow. Ning Fengji said, Rongrong, everyone, thanks for your care over the past few days. I've arranged a separate banquet to thank you all. Zhao Wuji, always savvy, got it right away. This is to create a private space for Tang Lan and Qian Renxue. He smiled heartily and said, Lao Zhao, get to enjoy sect leader Ning's banquet. That's a great honor. Pavilion Master Zhao, you're too kind, Ning Fengji said easily. The Tang sect will also be based in Tiando City now, and the Qibao Glazed sect welcomes you as a guest anytime. The 2 elders chatted politely. They watched Tang Lan disappear around the corner without trying to stop him. Then, they headed the other way. Top floor, Tang Lan and Qian Renxue sat opposite each other at a table overflowing with delicacies, but neither touched their chopsticks. I was just saying, Qian Renxue continued. Since you said we each have our own business, why don't you just call me Qinghe? In the original story, Qian Renxue called Tang San brother Shui. There are still differences. But if it's Qinghe, it means equal communication. This shows how much Qian Renxue values Tang Lan. And there's going to be even more wool to be harvested. Then you don't need to call me sect leader Tang. You can call me Tang Lan or Xiao Yan. Tang Lan said politely. Qian Renxue smiled. She picked up her chopsticks and gestured. Xiao Yan, you've traveled a long way. Let's eat first. Okay. Tang Lan wasn't hungry. He could absorb energy from blue silver grass, but if the prince is treating, how bad can it be? He sampled each dish, not rushing. Let's see what trick this is all about, he thought. He also wondered how to deal with the 10,000-year tiger eagle left arm bone he just won. He was out. He didn't even want to look at soul bones younger than 50,000 years. Even with the system, it's too much work to upgrade these things. Plus, even though the tiger eagle was a rare flying spirit beast variant, with the speed of an eagle and the power of a tiger, it was still a little below the man-faced demon spider. Not to mention ancient species like the Titan giant ape and the azure bull python. But Dai Mubai and Zhu Zhuqing would both be great. Is that even a choice? Why let it flow to outsiders' fields? Once the relationship is settled, I'll use this soul bone as a token. Even though Tang Lan looks down on this soul bone, how rare are soul bones on the mainland? At the end of the original Shrek 7 Monster series, only Tang San collected a full set of soul bones. The others got 2 at most. That shows how rare soul bones are. When Tang Lan finally slowed his eating, Qian Renxue said, I heard from Uncle Ning that you've come to Tiando City to build a top-level Soul Master Academy for the Tang sect. Tang Lan nodded. I'm preparing to enter the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition in 2 years. Qian Renxue's expression didn't change. Xiao Yan's already a member of the 4th Ring Soul sect at such a young age. She's sure to compete for the top spot. With a flash of light, she pulled out a document and pushed it over. This is the Advanced Soul Master Academy License Certificate. Fill in the Academy info, and I'll send someone to pick it up. Otherwise, with friends in court, things are easier to handle. Tang Lan accepted it without hesitation. Do you have any ideas about the location? Qian Renxue asked. I have a piece of land next to Tiando Royal Academy that's just as big. Uncle Ning has one next to the Qibao Glazed Sect. It's more than twice the size of Tiando Royal Academy, but it's a bit farther out, like 40 kilometers. If you're interested in other land outside Tiando City, just ask. She was ready to spread out a map and let Tang Lan choose, but that was it. Chapter 65 Trading the Vast Sea Universe cover. Big Wild Cat attacks Tang Lan at night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But with Lan Ba Academy right here, Tang Lan wasn't about to take handouts. He knew he had to be careful about who he partnered with. Qian Renxue wanted him on her side, but she wasn't necessarily an enemy. He just needed to pick and choose what he needed. I've already got a location picked out. Qinghe doesn't need to worry about that, Tang Lan said casually. But the Tang sect is sure to attract a ton of new recruits at first. That means a mountain of background checks, which will be a real headache. Plus, there's the promotion of the Tangmen Encyclopedia. Right now, Tiando City is swarming with soul masters, all just waiting for Tang Lan to set up shop and bring the goods right to their door. Finding manpower won't be a problem. The real challenge is how to weed out the good candidates from the bad eggs, the ones with criminal records, shady behavior, and those just looking for a quick buck. Qian Renxue smiled, confident. Wasn't that just a matter of her saying the word? And they could also use this to plant a few people in there too. Leave this to Qinghe. I'll have the Imperial Guards keep things in order, and we can free up some hotel space for the Tang sect to use. I'll also have the right departments help with the background checks. We'll do everything we can to make sure the Tang sect isn't infiltrated by those interested. Anyone normal would have missed the implication, but Tang Lan knew who Qian Renxue really was, and he understood right away, but he didn't really care. Let's be real, what sect doesn't have a few moles? He'd just screen them out later. Then I appreciate the help, Qinghe, Tang Lan said with a smile. That takes a load off my mind. You're welcome, Qian Renxue said, not making a big deal out of it. Uncle Ning could handle this stuff himself, I'm just doing him a solid. These small favors weren't even enough to save face. Want to win over Tang Lan and the Tang sect? She had a long way to go. She was just here to feel him out, not to try and win him over outright. Seeing that the conversation was winding down, she was about to make her exit when Tang Lan suddenly asked, Qinghe, you've practiced the 9-yang divine technique too, right? Qian Renxue simply nodded. The 9-yang divine technique was even better than what her grandfather had taught her. Not learning it would have been crazy, she added with a sigh. Xiao Yan, you're way too generous. Using a treasure like that to pick disciples for the Tang sect. You're one of a kind. Tang Lan just smiled. Qian Renxue seemed to be complimenting him, but she was really baffled. Giving away something that valuable? If he wasn't hiding it, there had to be something wrong with him. Even if it's incomplete, it's not a good thing to do, but who knew that, after the 9-yang divine art is completed, can it absorb the internal energy from the same source? He seemed generous, but it was all calculated. Anyone who mastered the 9-yang divine art would be fine if they joined the Tang sect, but what if they became enemies of the Tang clan? Too bad, then, time to get drained. Moving on from the topic, Tang Lan said with a smile, I'm willing to trade you the complete 9-yang divine art and the rights to sell Tongmen's firearms in the Tiando Empire, Qinghe. Qian Renshue's eyes narrowed. The complete 9-yang divine art spoke for itself. It could be considered the top cultivation skill on the continent. When she hugged Tang Lan earlier, she felt amazingly comfortable because of his incredibly strong soul power. Even her martial soul was throbbing a little, as if she'd met her soulmate. She couldn't show it since her martial soul was a seraph. She didn't mention it earlier. Now Tang Lan was just giving it away. And with the Tiando Empire's firearms sales rights to boot. What was he playing at? Qian Renxue would have no problem arming her own faction with those firearms, or even, sneaking a good chunk of them back to the Spirit Hall. With weapons like that, the Spirit Empire would definitely be even stronger in the future. Yes, Qian Renxue said seriously, tell me more. Tons of possibilities flashed through her mind, status, power, wealth, women, soul bones, but what she didn't expect was, Tang Lan said, Qinghe, you know I've been doing some research on soul guidance devices. I've heard the Tiando royal family has one called the Vast Sea Universe cover, and I'd like to study it. Qian Renxue fell silent. The Vast Sea Universe cover, it was the Tiando Empire's most prized treasure. Even if its mysteries were mostly legendary, some say it was a relic of peerless Douluo after his ascension, some say it was the remains of the Xingluo demon Saint King, some say it's a token sent by gods to the world. King Tiando had hired all sorts of oddballs to try and figure out what it did, but they all failed. What was certain was that it was worth more than 100,000-year-old soul bone. As the symbol of the emperor, it was held by Emperor Shuya. Even though Qian Renxue held the title of prince, she wasn't the emperor. If she was planning to get her hands on the Vast Sea Universe cover, would she be misunderstood and accused of trying to seize power early? Hard to say. Tang Lan stayed quiet too, waiting for Qian Renxue to decide. This was a tough one. In the original story, when Qian Renxue launched her coup, Tang San turned the tide and saved Emperor Shui, foiled Qian Renxue's conspiracy, and restored the imperial rule of the Tiando Empire. He even had Shuebeng become Tang San's apprentice, solidifying their bond. Emperor Shuya gave him the national treasure as a thank-you gift. Getting it would be a big deal. But then again, if it was easy, Tang Lan wouldn't have offered such a sweet deal. Even though he's spreading the 9-yang divine skill all over the place, who would dare leak it? If Tang San wanted to teach Oscar, he had to ask Tang Lan for permission. If you want to obtain follow-up skills, you can only find him. Tang Lan. After a few minutes of silence, Qian Renxue took a deep breath and made her decision. The 9-yang divine technique could be passed on. It was perfect for the angel family. If the Spirit Hall got it, their foundation would be stronger than ever. Just a soul guide? Even if it ruffled Emperor Shui's feathers a bit, it was worth it. He and Shuebeng are the only two princes left in the royal family, and Shuebeng is a playboy. Could Emperor Shuya pass the throne to someone else? If so, then she just sends people to kill the other party. Xiao Lan, how long will you wait for me? Qian Renxue asked seriously. I'll tell my father to lend the Vast Sea Universe cover to the Tang clan temporarily. After I take the throne, I'll come up with another excuse and give it to you, Xiao Yan. Deal? Tang Lan nodded, satisfied. What did temporary even mean? Once it was in his hands, there was no way it was going back. In 2 years, her real identity would be exposed. By then, Tang Lan would rescue Emperor Shuya, snatching the spotlight from Tang San, and saving his life. Who could tell him to give it back? Do whatever you think is best, Qinghe, Tang Lan said with a nod. Qian Renxue was ecstatic. I'll go talk to my father right away. She didn't want to wait any longer. Things could change. She stood up to leave right away, without even saying goodbye to Ning Fengji. Ning Fengji thought something was up. Brother Lan, did you and Qinghe have a fight? Ning Fengji asked, frowning. He wondered what he would do if the two of them had a falling out. Tang Lan saw what he was thinking, but he didn't say anything. Ning Fengji was the sect leader of the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School, so he would naturally prioritize the sect's interests. But his attitude was a bit cooler. In the end, the two were more about transactions and mutual interest than anything else. I made a deal with Qinghe. He's probably worried I'll back out, Tang Lan said calmly. Ning Fengji secretly sighed in relief. He sensed Tang Lan's mood shift and blamed himself for getting carried away earlier. The 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School has bought this hotel, so I'll give it to Brother Lan as a place to stay, Ning Fengji said. Also, I've already transplanted some of the blue silver king. Should it be kept at the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School, or? He was testing the waters to see where Tang Lan stood. Just like we agreed, Tang Lan said casually. I've been a little tired lately. If you need anything, maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Of course, let's do as Lan Di says, Ning Fengji said with a smile. Rongrong, your grandpa Gu misses you a lot. Why don't you come back with me tonight? When Ning Rongrong heard that, she immediately looked at Zhu Zhuqing. Zhu Zhuqing still looked as cold as ever, but for some reason, Ning Rongrong seemed overjoyed. Oh no. If she didn't stay here tonight, that wild cat would pounce on Tang Lan, right? Definitely. No way. She couldn't leave. She had to stay and protect Tang Lan from the wild cat. Last night I went to bed at 8 o'clock again, 8 o'clock in the morning. My 1-year-old baby is fussy at night, every 10 minutes. Is there any solution? I'll publish 3 chapters and add more bounties. Chapter 66 Zhu Zhuqing attacks again at night. Be rich and generous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ning Rongrong's feelings were plain as day. Ning Fengji, what a guy. He took one look, and immediately understood the situation. Then he glanced at Tang Lan's dark expression and sighed inwardly, silly Rongrong, didn't she realize how awkward she was making Tang Lan feel by ditching him like that? He immediately spoke up, emphasizing his tone. Rongrong. Ning Rongrong reluctantly pursed her lips in agreement, only then did Ning Fengji's face brighten. With a flash of light, he produced 8 brocade pouches, holding them aloft with his soul power. He sent one to each of Zhu Zhuqing and the others. Each pouch contains 4 portions of 10,000-year whale oil, which is the maximum strengthening limit Randy mentioned. Randy, please accept Xiao Wu's portion as well. Tang Lan accepted it without hesitation. Seeing Tang San grinning ear to ear, he regretted missing this opportunity, otherwise, his good brother image would be ruined, but hey, at least he could let the missus get a little something, might make it easier to squeeze him later. Watching Tang Lan accept his gift, the others followed suit, taking their pouches. Thank you, sect leader Ning. Dai Mubai said politely. I get a share too. That's mighty kind of you, sect leader Ning. Zhao Wuji chimed in, clearly pleased. Sect leader Ning, I already swallowed 3 pills earlier. Isn't this a bit much? Oscar, ever the honest one, asked politely, but he wasn't about to refuse. Yu Xiaogang, for once speechless, finally managed to blurt out, if there's extra, why not give it to me? Since mastering the 9-yang divine art, he finally had hope for the future. He wanted to strengthen himself and get a killer 4th soul ring. Oscar overheard. He looked at Tang Lan and Tang San, embarrassed. Why's Lao Deng begging? My apologies, it seems I overlooked something, Ning Fengji interjected smoothly. It's just that the 10,000-year whale oil is so rare, I only reserved 8 portions. Master, if you don't mind, I have a few 1,000-year-old pieces here, please, accept them. Ning Fengji waved his hand again, several worn-looking pieces of whale oil flew out, landing in front of Yu Xiaogang. Yu Xiaogang joined Tang's sect too late. As the leader of the 7 treasure glazed tile sect, Ning Fengji had plenty of people below him eager for the stuff. These 8 portions had been set aside long ago. Since the Tang sect encyclopedia came out, Wanyan whale glue was in short supply, and he didn't have much stock on hand. Yu Xiaogang naturally understood the reason. Still, looking at the few 1,000-year-old pieces, he couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. The 10,000-year stuff was so much better. But hey, free is free, right? He couldn't exactly look a gift horse in the mouth. Then thank you for your generosity, sect leader Ning, Yu Xiaogang said politely. Ning Fengji smiled, unbothered. Ever since the Tang sect encyclopedia was published, Yu Xiaogang's reputation as master was pretty much gone. If it weren't for Tang Lan's sake, he wouldn't even bother paying attention to him. Well, Brother Lan, I'll take my leave, Ning Fengji said. Come by the 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda later, we can show you those blue silver kings. Tang Lan nodded. Ning Fengji pulled the reluctant Ning Rongrong away and left the hotel. Chen Xian lagged a step behind, smiling slightly at Tang Lan. Xiao Lan, the matter you mentioned has been handled. However, he hasn't been in Tiando City recently. You won't see him until a month from now. Tang Lan nodded politely. Thank you, Uncle Jian. Don't mention it, we're all family here. With that, he leaped onto the 7-kill sword, catching up with Ning Fengji and the others. Tang San immediately approached Tang Lan. Brother, what did you and the prince talk about? Tang San asked expectantly. He wanted the benefits. Tang Lan wasn't angry, just gave him a light smack on the head. Absorb the whale oil first. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Tang San rubbed his head and grinned. He knew Tang Lan would never let him down. "Alright, let's head back and get some rest tonight," Tang Lan announced. "We have 3 days off, feel free to roam around." "Woohoo, long live the sect leader." Oscar cheered. Dai Mubai and the others looked relieved as well. The last few weeks had been rough. Tang Lan waved his hand and headed back to his room. Naturally, he'd been given the most luxurious royal suite. Throwing himself on the huge bed, Tang Lan's breathing quickly evened out. He drifted off to sleep. He'd been pretty worn out lately too, though he had various recovery methods. They all targeted the physical body. Mental fatigue was the hardest to shake, but his sleep was destined to be disturbed midnight. A slender figure landed on the balcony, slipped through the unclosed door, and crept to Tang Lan's bedside. Tang Lan opened his eyes just in time. The first thing he noticed was how stacked she was. It was Zhu Zhuqing. Her usually cold face was flushed, and her eyes were glazed over. Tang Lan couldn't look away, a side effect of the whale oil. "What are you doing?" Tang Lan asked, feigning ignorance, but Zhu Zhuqing had clearly prepared herself for this. "I want to try dual cultivation," Zhu Zhuqing stated bluntly. "Just like Xiao Wu, I want to cultivate with you." Her tone was cold and flat, but the words were bold. A surge of triumph coursed through Tang Lan. "See, that the Ice Queen couldn't resist his charm after all." "But the same dual cultivation as Xiao Wu?" Did Zhu Zhuqing misunderstand something? Tang Lan wasn't about to correct her. He grabbed her waist, spun her around, and pinned her to the bed. "A girl comes to your door, you don't just slam it in her face." The next morning, Zhu Zhuqing, who hadn't slept a wink, practically fled from the balcony, her eyes filled with a strange shyness. Tang Lan, meanwhile, wore a satisfied grin. "TSK, TSK, TSK. A well-behaved cat, cold on the outside, hot on the inside, that's the best kind." The fatigue that had been building up over the last few days was gone. Tang Lan got up and washed quickly, then he jumped off the balcony. Following the map, he headed to Lanba Academy. Though Lanba Academy only occupied a third of the Tiando Royal Academy's land, its value was far greater. This was Tiando City, where every inch of land was worth its weight in gold. The capital of the Tiando Empire, one of the most prosperous cities on the Douluo continent. Tang Lan looked around, taking in the bustling scene, and felt deeply satisfied. At the same time, he was already planning to become famous. He needed to buy up the surrounding land to expand. It would be more than enough for Tang's sect's early development. Lost in thought, a fragrant breeze swept past, and a beautiful woman stood before him. She had burgundy hair flowing over her shoulders and blue eyes that stared directly at him. Even more striking was her outfit. She was dressed boldly, flaunting her ample figure without a hint of hesitation, a walking embodiment of wealth and generosity. Too bad, having just been with a goddess like Zhu Zhuqing, this girl seemed less impressive. "Are you a new student too?" the generous woman asked with a flirtatious smile. "My name is Jiang Zhu." "What do I call you, and which class are you in?" Tang Lan feigned surprise. Jiang Zhu, the beauty queen of Lanba Academy, whose spirit was a healing staff. She would be the only healing soul master on the Shrek team in the future. Because of her bold fashion sense, her generosity, and her wealth, she had countless admirers. Was this it? Had she spotted his handsome face and decided to make a move? Chapter 67 Love Brain Lu Erlong. Teasing Zhu Zhuqing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Lan wasn't interested. Honestly, he wasn't Zhu Zhuqing's type, and he definitely wasn't in her league. "I need to see your dean. Can you point me to the dean's office?" Tang Lan asked. "Huh?" Jiang Zhu looked surprised. "What do you need to see the teacher about?" Teacher, right? Jiang Zhu was super talented and Lu Erlong had taken her on as a disciple. Was she like an adopted daughter or something? "Do you know Yu Xiaogang?" Tang Lan asked, cutting to the chase. Jiang Zhu's face instantly changed. "Who are you? What do you want with that heartless jerk?" Jiang Zhu snapped. "The teacher's been waiting for him for years. Why are you showing up now?" Sounds like she's in the loop. That'll make this easier. Don't worry about it. Just take me to her. Tang Lan said, asterisk is she seriously trying to intimidate me with a four-ring soul sect, star? Who are you? Jiang Zhu repeated, asterisk does this woman even speak English, star? You're being really annoying, Tang Lan said, exasperated. If you're not going to take me, I'll just ask someone else. He turned to leave, that pissed Jiang Zhu off. Why is this guy so clueless, asterisk doesn't a woman as gorgeous as me deserve some special treatment, star? Afraid Tang Lan would screw something up, Jiang Zhu grabbed his arm. Fine, I'll take you to the teacher. Good, Tang Lan said, shaking off her hand, asterisk if I'm not interested, I'm not giving her any ideas, star, Jiang Zhu huffed, shaking her head. She marched toward the back of the academy and stopped in front of a courtyard with a sign that read, Academy Business Only. Authorized personnel only. A pond, a shack, and a fence, asterisk pretty bare bones, star, but the fence was lined with all kinds of flowers in full bloom, a riot of color. Standing among the flowers, a woman was watering them with a watering can. Hearing them approach, she turned, her eyes swept past Jiang Zhu and landed on Tang Lan. Tang Lan stared right back. Lu Erlong looked to be in her early 30s, wearing a blue wrap that did little to hide her natural grace and delicate features, but what you couldn't miss were her curves, barely contained beneath the fabric, asterisk what a woman, star. Asterisk too bad Yu Xiaogang is such a love-struck sap, star. Asterisk such a waste of a body, star. Jiang Zhu, what are you doing here? Lu Erlong asked casually. Is this handsome young man your boyfriend? Asterisk is she thinking I'm bringing my boyfriend to rub it in her face, star? Jiang Zhu hesitated, figuring out how to answer. Tang Lan jumped in, he pulled out the storage belt that Xiao Wu wanted back from the Blue King, asterisk clang, star, the watering can hit the ground, crushing some flowers. Lu Erlong didn't seem to notice, she moved like lightning, snatching the storage belt and checking it over, asterisk it's gotta be, star. This is Xiaojiang's soul guide belt. Lu Erlong stared at Tang Lan, her voice tight. How did you get it? Where is he? Tell me. She sounded scared stiff, asterisk I mean, Yu Xiaogang isn't exactly a powerhouse. It's not impossible someone offed him for his stuff, star. Dean Lu, relax. I'm not going anywhere, Tang Lan said, glancing at Jiang Zhu. Why don't you send her on her way? Jiang Zhu glared. She does all the work leading the way, and she was hoping for some juicy gossip, asterisk now, he's tossing me aside as soon as he's done with me, star. Asterisk jerk, star. Jiang Zhu, go on back, Lu Erlong said, her voice still shaky. You, come inside. Lu Erlong grabbed the storage belt with one hand and Tang Lan's hand with the other, asterisk she's afraid I'm going to bolt, star. The door shut. Before Lu Erlong could ask anything, Tang Lan spilled the beans. Your man is doing fine. He's an elder in our Tang sect and he's currently in Tiando City. Lu Erlong sagged with relief, asterisk at least he's alive, star, but then her eyes narrowed, asterisk elder in the Tang sect, star. The Tang sect that sells the Tang sect encyclopedia for, 5 copper soul coins? Lu Erlong asked, confused. Tang Lan was speechless, asterisk 5 copper soul coins, star. Asterisk crap, star. Asterisk I didn't plan on getting rich off this, but I thought we'd sell it for cost, at least, star. Asterisk I never thought it would be this cheap, star. Yeah, I'm with the Tang sect. I don't care who you're with. Lu Erlong interrupted. How's Xiaojiang doing? Tang Lan was getting fed up, asterisk is this woman even listening to me, star. He sighed and said, I know a way to get you two married. He won't run away from you anymore. What did you say? Lu Erlong grabbed Tang Lan's shoulders, her eyes wide. Can you really do that? What's the price? I'll pay it, asterisk that was easy, star. I want Lanba Academy, Tang Lan said bluntly. I want it for myself. Done. Lu Erlong said without hesitating. Lanba Academy is yours. You can't mess with the current students, but you can do whatever you want with the rest, asterisk wow, star. Asterisk these people are hopeless, star. All the stuff I was planning to say, just went out the window. Lu Erlong stared at Tang Lan intently. What's the plan? If it doesn't work, you'll pay, asterisk she's got a hot temper, star dot asterisk but Yu Xiaogang has her wrapped around his finger, star. Tang Lan was speechless, but, since Lu Erlong agreed, there was no way she would change her mind. It's simple, Tang Lan said. Come with me, and I'll take you to him. Let's go. The fire dragon martial spirit appeared behind Lu Erlong, and 7 soul rings, yellow, yellow, purple, black, black, lit up under her feet, asterisk a 7-ring soul saint, star. She grabbed Tang Lan and, not even looking at her destroyed house, flew into the sky, hovering in the air. She looked at Tang Lan. Which way? Tang Lan. I knew she was eager, but this is ridiculous, he pointed. Lu Erlong flew like a shot and quickly reached the Tiando Hotel. The commotion was crazy loud. By the time they landed, everyone from the Tang sect had arrived, including Yu Xiaogang. Tears streamed down Lu Erlong's face. Xiaogang. Is that really you? Am I dreaming? Yu Xiaojiang's eyes were also red as he stared at the woman he longed to see but didn't dare to. His lips trembled, but he couldn't say a word. Tang Lan looked away in disgust, asterisk seriously, star. Asterisk what a wimp, star. Using his mental link, he told everyone to clear the area. Talk it out. Call me if you need me. Leaving those words, Tang Lan turned around and caught up to Zhu Zhuqing, who was making a hasty retreat. He squeezed into her room before she could close the door. Tang San and the others gave each other knowing glances, asterisk inside the room, star. Zhu Zhuqing's cold face showed a rare hint of panic and shyness. What are you doing here? Zhu Zhuqing said, trying to sound calm. Wasn't last night enough? After she came back, she found out that Tang Lan needed to maintain a pure yang body because of the 9 yang divine art. Zhu Zhuqing knew that she had misunderstood the term double cultivation. Facing Tang Lan now, she was so flustered. Tang Lan saw her embarrassment. He stepped forward, hugged Zhu Zhuqing, and whispered in her ear. A girl brave enough to go after love has nothing to be ashamed of. We're not related. You're not married and I'm not married. What's wrong with being close? Hearing that, Zhu Zhuqing began to calm down, but she didn't know what to say, so she stayed silent. Tang Lan just held her. This surprised Zhu Zhuqing. She thought he would. Half an hour later, asterisk bang bang bang, star. The door was getting beat down. No need to guess, except for Lu Erlong. No one would dare knock on the door like that right now. Tang Lan stood up, asterisk here we go again, star. This was the last time he would face Yu Xiaogang head-on. It will be difficult to deal with this guy now that Lu Erlong is protecting him. I'm going to leave him with a memory that will last a lifetime. I was banned from driving in front of me, and this happened over and over again for a long time, asterisk the speed of 20 miles per hour is overspeeding. I can't use my skills, asterisk. Chapter 68, Fighting Poison with Poison. You are a waste. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bang, 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 the door splintered with a deafening crash. Zhu Zhuqing jumped back like she'd been zapped with a cattle prod. Tang Lan, expecting the chaos, just calmly opened what was left of the door. Lu Erlong stood there, eyes bloodshot, but filled with a desperate hope. Xiaogang, it's time to make good on your promise. Alright, but whatever happens next, zip your lip, Tang Lan warned her. Otherwise, if it goes sideways, I'm walking away. What are you going to do? Lu Erlong asked, her voice tight with anxiety. Xiaogang is sensitive. Don't get rough, seriously. Even now, she's still making excuses for Yu Xiaogang. This woman is a lost cause, utterly blinded by love. Tang Lan sighed and pushed past her, heading straight for Yu Xiaogang, who was standing like a deer in headlights in the hall. Seeing Tang Lan approach, Yu Xiaogang blurted out, "You used my name to con Erlong out of Lanba Academy." You. Pow! Tang Lan decked Yu Xiaogang with a single, clean punch, sending him sprawling. Lu Erlong's eyes nearly popped out of her head. She was practically on the verge of summoning her fire dragon spirit and going ballistic. You interfere, and I'm out, Tang Lan said, not even bothering to look at her. Lu Erlong froze. She watched Yu Xiaogang struggle to his feet, fighting back her rage and averting her eyes. still got a hold on her. The best way to handle a love-crazed woman is through her love interest. Tang Lan stepped forward and kicked Yu Xiaogang again for good measure. At the same time, he spat out, "The great master. Turns out you're just a gutless wonder. The saint of Wuhuan Palace was ready to throw everything away for you, and you bolted. Lu Erlong doesn't give a damn about what people think, and you still ran." That he was hitting below the belt, going for maximum impact. Yu Xiaogang flushed crimson, his anger finally ignited. "What do you know?" he snarled. "What happens between Erlong and me is none of your business." "Oh." Tang Lan raised an eyebrow. "Is it the old, obey your teacher's crap? Or is it blood thicker than water?" That Yu Xiaogang's head snapped up, his eyes wide with shock. How did he know? These were the deepest, most shameful secrets of his life. How could Tang Lan possibly know them? "Yu Xiaogang. You're just a phony, chasing after fame and nothing else." Tang Lan didn't hold back, saying bluntly, "The only reason you wanted me as a disciple in the first place was to test out your so-called theories. When you realized I couldn't be manipulated, you settled for the consolation prize instead. If you happen to train a genius student and they become powerful, what does that have to do with you? It'd be a real feather in your cap to turn some average Joe Soul Master into a titled Douluo. For your precious theories, you even stunted the growth of your student and rejected the Royal Academy's offer to let him enroll in Shrek. The Royal Academy has sole Douluo protectors, funding from the Tiando Empire, and the backing of the Platinum Bishop of Wuhuan Palace. They have resources, teaching, connections, everything. And what does Shrek have? You're too afraid to rock the boat, too mediocre to challenge the norm. What kind of teacher encourages their students to stir up trouble?" Tang Lan was unloading both barrels, tearing into Yu Xiaogang without mercy. He completely trashed the 10 core competencies that Wuhuan was so proud of, reducing them to rubble. Yu Xiaogang was reeling, covered in verbal blood. The buried suspicion resurfaced. Was he really that worthless? Lu Erlong clenched her fists, trembling with rage. To hear the man she loved so mercilessly insulted, while being unable to do anything about it, was agonizing. As for who was right or wrong, how could Xiaogang be wrong? Tang Lan finally paused, satisfied with the damage he'd inflicted. Seeing Yu Xiaogang's shattered worldview, he knew he'd turned up the heat enough. All right, if he started insulting Bibi Dong, Lu Erlong would truly lose it. Back to the point. You think anyone gives a damn about the private life of a loser like you? A forbidden love between siblings? Taboo. Don't flatter yourself. I saw 2 soul beasts walking down the road. Am I supposed to do a DNA test to see if they're related? Who has time for that? Or is your relationship with Lu Erlong only about that little thing? That Yu Xiaogang was stunned. A spark of realization flickered in his eyes, desperately trying to grasp the sudden insight. You're saying. Are you still that clueless? Tang Lan grabbed Yu Xiaogang by the collar and spat. As long as you're not married, how is it a forbidden relationship? What's stopping you? That Yu Xiaogang felt like he'd been struck by lightning. Could it really be that simple? Lu Erlong was just as dumbfounded. She had never considered that possibility before. But, the light in Yu Xiaogang's eyes dimmed again. I'm just a failure. Am I even good enough for Erlong? No. It wouldn't be fair to Erlong. You don't have to get someone in order to love them. I hope she can find happiness. Slap! Tang Lan kneed Yu Xiaogang in the gut, sending him spinning like a top before he crashed to the ground, limp and lifeless. Lu Erlong felt a mix of pain and relief. He still wants her to be happy. Are you kidding me? Tang Lan couldn't believe his ears. Lu Erlong has been waiting for you for 20 years. Is she happy? No, it's just your cowardice, your refusal to face the judgment of the world. Why do you have to be such a phony? It's better to be a real villain. Yu Xiaogang, when you plagiarized Wuhandian's theories, I didn't see you being so reserved. And, Tang Lan added for emphasis. You're not even a leading expert on martial soul theory anymore, and you don't have anything to be reserved about. With that, Tang Lan tossed a Tang sect encyclopedia at Yu Xiaogang. Take a good look. Yu Xiaogang numbly opened the book, his eyes widening in disbelief as he flipped through the pages. His work with the team kept him in the wild most of the time, therefore, this was the first time he had seen the Tang sect encyclopedia being sold across the continent. One look was enough, the theories in the book obliterated his theories. And there was a large amount of knowledge that he had never even heard of before. It was the perfect textbook for all soul masters. He flipped through the pages like a madman, his expression becoming increasingly unhinged. Everything he thought he knew was wrong. His one source of pride, being the leading expert on theory, was gone, taken from him. What else was left to say? He was a failure now, and had probably been long forgotten by the world. Tang Lan saw Yu Xiaogang was completely defeated. He backed away, a satisfied smirk playing on his lips, and gestured for Erlong to go comfort him. This time, Yu Xiaogang didn't resist, protect his status. Worry about what other people would think. He had nothing left to lose and had even been called a failure. This was the best way to fight fire with poison. You can go barefoot without wearing shoes. Didn't Yu Xiaogang want to maintain his own identity? Then he would prove that he was a failure. Who cared about failure? Only Xiaogang. Erlong said softly, so what if millions of people say you are a waste? As long as I, Erlong, think you are the best, that is enough. That this gave Yu Xiaogang a shot in the arm. Finally, he let go of everything, as if grasping the last straw, looking at Erlong expectantly. Even now, this guy still doesn't dare to take the initiative. But Erlong, who is in love, doesn't think there is a problem. Even happy about it. He tightened his grip on Yu Xiaogang's hand, fearing that he would run away again. Seeing this, Tang Lan turned around and left, not wanting to stay there and be disgusted. What a flower, stuck in cow dung. No. He needed to find someone to vent his irritability to. Tang Lan headed straight for Zhu Zhuqing's room. Chapter 69, Another Soul Bone. Worry-free Zhu Zhuqing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Back in Zhu Zhuqing's room, her eyes had a strange look, like she was seeing me, Tang Lan, for the first time. What's up? I asked, raising an eyebrow. You haven't been into Yu Xiaogang for a while, have you? Zhu Zhuqing said bluntly. I thought I was misreading things, but it seemed like you were deliberately messing with me. She stopped there, but the implication was clear. I just nodded. A fraud like Yu Xiaogang, coasting on a reputation he doesn't deserve. If I wasn't worried about Erlong, I would have ripped him apart. This was a last resort to expose his true colors to her. Seriously, between Yu Xiaogang and Erlong, did he act like a man? That I laid out the whole story for her again. Zhu Zhuqing frowned. Now she got why I hated the guy. And there's more. I kept spilling the tea. Before that whole mess, he was involved with the spirit hall. That I told her the whole twisted saga of Yu Xiaogang and Bibi Dong. Zhu Zhuqing was speechless. The spirit hall's holy maiden was ready to ditch the whole place for him, and he backed out. Then he turns around and publishes spirit hall research as his own. For the first time, disgust crossed her usually cold face. Ugh. Disgusting, that if she were in Bibi Dong's shoes, she'd have just given herself to him. Seeing Zhu Zhuqing's reaction, I felt a wave of relief. This asterisk is a normal reaction. What was Erlong thinking? Whatever, without her love blindness, I wouldn't have been able to take over Blue Tyrant Academy. You taking over Blue Tyrant Academy denied Shrek Academy a chance to rise. Tang San missed a big boost. You have seized a moderate amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, external spirit bone, evil eye. Seriously? I actually got a spirit bone. That was totally unexpected. I figured Tang San wouldn't get much out of Shrek swallowing Blue Tyrant Academy. So this counts as moderate luck. Later on, Shrek Academy in Douluo Continent 2 became the top academy, independent of the three empires, and running its own Shrek City. Shrek Academy is Tang God's main base for future schemes. Looking at it that way, it makes sense anyway. I hadn't kept up with the series, but I heard Erlong and Yu Xiaogang had descendants thousands of years later. Figures. Even if you say no, your body's telling a different story. Ugh. The system extracts the evil eye spirit bone and places it in the Blue King domain. Nothing seemed to happen. I opened the Blue King and found the eye spirit bone. I took it out. The evil eye was palm-sized, dark blue, and shined with an odd light, seriously creepy looking. Zhu Zhuqing, I'm absorbing this spirit bone. Can you watch my back? Zhu Zhuqing looked at the evil eye, a flicker of desire in her gaze, but she quickly masked it and nodded coolly. She didn't ask where it came from, not her style, which is why I just went ahead and took it out. Zhu Zhuqing's coldness made her hard to connect with, but winning her over would be a major asset. I sat cross-legged on her bed and pressed the evil eye to my right eye. I jumped to another dimension for a moment to weaken the pain. The fusion took 3 hours. As soon as I was back in my body, I realized something was up. Normally, spirit bones boosted your physique, but my physical strength hadn't changed much. My mental strength, though, had doubled. Seriously. Doubled. Even the age of my double pupils had evolved, jumping to 18,000 years. Come to think of it, the evil eye comes from the evil eye tyrant, the 780,000-year-old evil emperor, basically the Sun Moon Empire's mascot. Evil eyes have different traits. The fewer traits, the stronger it is, and the more traits, the weaker it is. This evil eye spirit bone had spirit and time abilities. They're considered top tier, right up there with the Titan giant ape and Azure bull python. So, this was normal. I checked out the spirit bone skill, reset. I could mark a target once a day, activate the skill within 2 minutes, and reset the target status to when I marked them. At first glance, it's like time reversal, Izanagi, or getting your mana back after you die, and that's exactly what it is. When I mark myself, the reset includes soul power, health, location, all that. For me, the life-saving effect is secondary. I already have the spirit bone regeneration skill. I can activate this and mark myself before a fight, then go all out. No worries about running out of steam. Wait until the timer's almost up, reset, back to full, 2 explosions in a row. Imagine, I can master that ring explosion trick from Tang Hao, and detonate the Soul Blue Silver Emperor and Lightning Flame Clear Sky Hammer, reset, detonate again. If I activate the spirit bone regeneration, I can die, come back, and detonate again. Dude. 69 and 54 spirit rings, is that even fair? I couldn't wait to learn the ring explosion from Tang Hao. Wait, now hold on. I'm invincible for 2 minutes. I could figure this out myself. Maybe it won't be optimized, but it's still a killer move. I'm awesome. I'm a genius. That I hugged Zhu Zhuqing, feeling excited, and rewarded myself with a wet, sloppy kiss. I caught her off guard, kissing her senseless, until my hands got too handsy, and she woke up. She dodged and turned her back to me, adjusting her clothes. Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong have been waiting outside for you. That I was a little annoyed. If you're so in love, can't you just stay away? You gotta bother me. I waited for Zhu Zhuqing to get herself together, then got up and opened the door. I saw them on the balcony. Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong were holding hands, grinning and chatting. They saw me come out. Lu Erlong smiled and said, "Sect Master Tang, thank you for everything. Xiaogang and I are." I waved her off. We just each got what we needed. Yu Xiaogang's been milked for all he's worth, and Lu Erlong is a crazy fan. Neither one is useful to me. No need to be polite. Lu Erlong saw I wasn't interested and didn't take offense. As a matchmaker between herself and Xiaogang, she was pretty chill. She held up a stack of papers from her storage ring and handed them to me. This is all the info about Blue Tyrant Academy. I've signed a contract to give it to you free of charge. You're now the new dean. I hope you'll keep your word and let the students stay, so they can finish their education. That I took the papers and nodded. Of course. The Tang sect starting a high-level academy of its own. Anyone who wants to stay is welcome. Lu Erlong sighed with relief. She glanced at Yu Xiaogang. She continued, "Xiaogang and I were wondering, could we stay at Tang Sect Academy as teachers? Huh?" I looked at Yu Xiaogang, who kept his cool. This guy, after all the trash talk and being abused by me, why does he still want to stay? Is he that desperate? This time, I didn't hide my disgust. In the past, Yu Xiaogangs fragile ego would have exploded, but this time, something was off. Chapter 70 Yu Xiaogang suddenly wakes up. Let's work for free first. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Facing Tang Lan's disgust, Yu Xiaogang just smiled calmly. You're right, my life's been a string of failures. I used to care way too much about what other people thought and played the hypocrite. From now on, I'm just going to be a real villain. The Tang sect encyclopedia really impresses me. A lot of it's still just theory, and I want to try to prove it. It's not about anything else. I just want to. Huh. Why the sudden change of heart? Tang Lan thought for a second, then said, Lao Zhao's taking over as dean of the Tang Sect Academy. If you want to stay, you can only be a regular theory teacher, teaching straight from the encyclopedia. Yu Xiaogang nodded. Perfect. Seriously? I want to stay too, Erlong chimed in. I'd like to apply for a practical class teacher position, so I can coordinate with Xiaojiang's theory lessons. Yu Xiaogang squeezed Erlong's hand, shooting her a grateful look. She smiled sweetly, wow, even moving, and they're still all over each other. Yu Xiaogang is whatever, but Erlong, as a seven-ring soul sage, is a huge asset to the newly founded Tang sect, plus, with her here, taking over Lanba Academy will be a lot easier. As for what Yu Xiaojiang's really up to, doesn't matter, let's just get him to work for free first. Thinking that, Tang Lan nodded. Okay. Yu Xiaogang smiled, finally showing his true colors. Sect Master, Erlong, Brother Fu, and I have a fusion skill called Huangxing Xinglong, powerful enough to take down a Contra. Brother Fu's Shrek Academy's basically defunct, with only one student, Ma Hongjun, left. So, I was wondering if he could bring Ma Hongjun to Tang Sect Academy as an exchange student. That way, the Golden Iron Triangle can be at your disposal when you need us. Here it comes, all that talk just to borrow an academy. He just wants to use Tang Sect Academy's resources to train Ma Hongjun. The resources aren't the main issue, it's that Ma Hongjun, that little fatty, is annoying. Still, the Golden Iron Triangle's muscle can be useful. After thinking it over, Tang Lan said, I can talk to my brother about them going to Heavendo Royal Academy, but not Tang Sect Academy. Yu Xiaogang sighed. He recognized that the Tang sect was on the rise and had a bright future. He wanted to bring in an old friend. Too bad things were too messed up to be fixed. Then thank you, Sect Master Tang, Erlong said smoothly. If you ever need anything, the Golden Iron Triangle is at your service. Tang Lan nodded, satisfied. A deal's a deal. No need to pretend we're best friends. He immediately pulled out his cell phone and called Ning Fengji. He kept it short and sweet. Ning Fengji agreed without hesitation. He even invited him. Brother, are you free tomorrow? The Blue Silver Kings are excited knowing you're coming. Sure, I'll come by tomorrow. We'll be waiting at the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile Sect, Ning Fengji said with a hearty laugh. He hung up. Tang Lan handed the info Erlong gave him, along with Qian Renshue's documents, back to her. Then he called over Zhao Wuji, who'd been watching the show. Old Zhao, you're in charge of the academy's name change. Also, announce that the Tang sect is recruiting disciples from all over the continent. The Imperial Guard will assist in screening and maintaining order. Any students of the right age who pay tuition and don't have a criminal record can enter Tang Sect Academy. Those with some talent and no record can be accepted as outer disciples. If you come across a genius with an innate full soul power of level 7 or higher, or just someone outstanding, put together a list. After they're assessed, they can be inner disciples. Tang Lan explained everything. Erlong didn't care. She wasn't even a Tang sect member. Well, she wasn't. But Yu Xiaogang was. Yeah, she thought, happy to help Yu Xiaogang shoulder the load. As for Zhao Wuji, school administration gave him a headache, but what could he do? He'd just have to suck it up. With most of the work delegated, Tang Lan was content to sit back and relax. Nice. Just then, Dai Mubai and Oscar walked through the hotel door, arm in arm. Seeing Tang Lan, they snapped to attention. Sect Master. Hello, Master. Tang Lan nodded slightly. He expanded his mental power, strengthened by the evil eye, and used it without the blue-silver domain. he used a mental connection to tell Tang San and Zhu Zhuqing to come down. Then, he took out the 10,000-year tiger eagle left arm bone. He didn't bother explaining where it came from, he just said, "You all did well during this outdoor training. Here's a 10,000-year soul bone, the tiger eagle left arm bone. It's not good for support-type soul masters, so Rongrong and Oscar are out. Zhuqing, Xiaosanzi, Mubai, who wants it?" Everyone was stunned. Giving out soul bones as rewards. Tang Lan was loaded. But then they realized, the tiger eagle left arm bone was best for agile and power attack systems, so Oscar was out. That left Zhu Zhuqing, Tang San, and Dai Mubai. One was Tang Lan's girl, another was Tang Lan's brother. What chance did Dai Mubai have? In the end, it would go to Tang Lan's people, and he'd get praised for being generous. Tang Lan knew how to play the game. As for Tang San's control system, the bone wasn't right for him, but he was Tang Lan's brother. He could just give it to him, who would dare to object? Tang San clearly thought so too. He stared at the bone, full of confidence. His brother would give it to him. Zhu Zhuqing's eyes shone. She wanted it too. Those hot dogs and cream weren't free. Dai Mubai's eyes were filled with desire, but he knew his place. After looking at Tang San and Zhu Zhuqing, he considered it. Then he said, "Sect Master, the Tang Sect Encyclopedia says the tiger eagle has the strength of a tiger and the speed of an eagle. So, this tiger eagle left arm bone is better suited for power and agility attack systems." He was subtly pushing it toward Zhu Zhuqing. Tang San glared at him. "If you don't want it, don't mess with me, brother," Tang San retorted. "Teacher always said you can't absorb a soul bone if it isn't right for you. I'll know after I try it." Oh, really? Try a 10,000-year soul bone? Tang Lan looked at Yu Xiaogang, wanting to hear what he thought. Yu Xiaogang hesitated. He'd seen Tang Lan in Zhu Zhuqing's room for the entire afternoon before. Whether they were training or just fooling around, who knew? But their relationship was definitely something special. As for Tang San, he was a traitor who disobeyed his master. He'd made up his mind, to be continued. For every 25-star reviews, 20 monthly tickets, and 200 recommendation votes, another chapter will be released.